New caffeine-free tab. If you're going caffeine-free, this tab, this taste, is for you.
And now she's the tab girl and says you really drink that, don't you, Jayne?
Absolutely. Even before I started working with Coca-Cola.
Oh, you really did?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid growing up, my mom lived on Coca-Cola. And when I signed my contract with them, I told them, I said, you don't know how good this makes me feel, because I remember 6 years old, my mom used to say, okay, go to the store, buy me a new six-pack of Coca-Cola.
Boy, yeah, well, they probably give you a bonus for that. They may give you a bonus for this interview so far. We're glad you're here, though. How do you describe yourself, Jayne? Because you do so many different things. Somebody says, what do you do?
Well, I have always looked at my career as not being just an actress. When I first went to Hollywood, I wanted to go out there and try my best at being an actress. And, you know, I never dreamed that success would be so great for me. I've had a very good and blessed career. However, as a black actress in the industry, there are not that many parts. So I've always felt that I would diversify my career as much as possible. I sing, I dance, I have the exercise programs. I have a line of exercise wear on Butterick labeled.
Yeah, you're heavily into your own business now, aren't you?
Yeah, and I started my own production company because I wanted to stretch out into different avenues, and I don't believe in just sitting and waiting for the telephone to ring, you know, for someone to offer me the opportunity. So I create a lot of things. I'm the one that went to Coca-Cola, and I said I'd like to be
you
working.
went to them?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, though, you were a Miss Ohio at the age of 18, and then when you married your husband, shortly after that you got into acting and so forth, and people have always seen you as a very glamorous, beautiful woman.
Well, I was doing acting before I got married.
Even before you got married?
Oh, yeah. I was acting in junior high and high school with the programs there, and I started doing television commercials in Cleveland before I even graduated high school.
Has it ever been a burden to be as beautiful as you are now?
Well, I don't really think about it that much. A lot of times when I walk different places, as a matter of fact, everybody always says it's a pleasure. It's more fun to walk like 10 feet behind me so you can get the reaction or the wave of reaction as
the
I
heads go
pass
like
away.
this, yes.
But I never even noticed that. I mean, I guess I notice it, but it's almost second nature. And I don't think that people are looking at me because of the way I look, because when I was 12 years old, I was this tall, and I'm 5'10". So all my life, people have, wow, look at that tall broad. You know, it had nothing to do with Jayne Kennedy or beauty or anything like that. And I think my parents raised me always to think about what's inside, because that counts a lot more. So I don't even concentrate on that.
Can I ask you something that's maybe still a little bit delicate for you? It has to do with the Playboy layout that you did. And you were roundly criticized, especially by blacks, for doing that.
Well, both. Criticized and applauded.
Criticized and applauded.
But, you know, a lot of people always go to the negative rather than the positive things that happen. But it was a first in the industry in terms of it really proved. See, a lot of people in the industry, they always believe that blacks don't really sell. They're not a viable entity or commercial property. I hate to speak of it that way, but all of us in the industry, we're all exploited. That's why we're in it, because we want to make a career. So I always think of myself as a commodity and things like that. But usually, the reaction that you always get, and that I've gotten from day one, is that we don't use blacks on the cover. We don't use blacks for this.
But they did, and you were criticized, and between that and some other things, splitting with your husband and so forth, you found God, right?
Oh,
You're really quite a religious person now,
No, God has been in my life all along. I didn't find God because of problems in my life. I accepted Christ in my life at age 13, and my family raised me to be that way. I have become more devout in my religion, because I believe that one of the things, the best part about mistakes is you learn from them. And I used to always pray, you know, well, I would like this and I would like that and that type of thing. However, I learned that the most important thing is to pray to be happy.
What has made you unhappy? What have been some of the disappointments that you've had to deal with through prayer or otherwise? I mean, what do you most regret in the last few years? Because you've been on a roll in most things.
Well, I wouldn't call my marriage on a roll right now. The divorce, I regret. However, I've become a much stronger person out of that. A lot of the things that I've done in my career are all good things, and I believe that that's because of the Lord's hand in my life too.
Are you still friends with Leon Isaac Kennedy? Are you the two of you are still friends?
Yes.
And from this point on, we can expect to see you doing what sorts of things? More glamour, or more business, or what? Well,
let me see. The glamour part of the career, I've always tried to sort of get away from that because I found that people don't really take you that seriously when you start concentrating on glamour. I mean, sure, I like to look nice and dress up and buy pretty clothes and wear makeup and all of that. However, it's when you walk into a room, some people, they always have, oh, there's another beautiful girl. She thinks she can get by. And that's their first impression. And it's really hard to overcome that and prove that you have something on the ball and that you're worthwhile. I have 2 feature films, and one of them is the Dorothy Dandridge story.
Right.
But I know that I'm not going to be taken seriously as a producer for a first time out to come in as a woman and as a black woman and say, I want to produce this film and get $15 million to do the picture.
Fortunately, though, you've got some time. You're, what, 32 now?
32.
So we expect great things. And you know you have so many fans all over the place. Do you enjoy having people recognize you and want to meet you and that sort of thing?
It's nice, yes, because it's an extreme compliment.
We have some people that would be complimented. Well, let me take the microphone off, Jayne. Come with me. I want to show you something here.
Come with you?
Come on. Come on. Trust me on this one, will you?
All right.
Okay. Brian, come on. Will you? Come on, Brian. Okay. Now we're going out here. Jayne, do people spring things on you from time to time like this?
Are you talking to me or Brian? I think
I was talking to you.
for Brian.
Well, Brian is our floor director, and Brian, you're in heaven, huh?
Yeah.
Well, okay, just follow us right in here, Jayne. Here we come. Now, there's a gentleman in here who's really made quite a thing of the fact that he'd like to... Say hello to Isaac Laughinghouse.
Oh, my goodness.
Who is not shy.
Hi, how are you?
Isaac Laughinghouse has been waiting for this moment, as is Brian. Now, this moment may not end for them, actually.
My best friend wanted me to do this. I do it.
This is for your brother?
Oh, you already had one for you, and there's one for your friend?
Wait a minute. Now,
Here,
how
Jayne.
your other friend?
Could you, come on, Isaac, you've got to run out of friends here eventually. Jayne is going to be signing some special messages to you. You didn't know this was going to happen, did you?
Oh, I'm touched.
And you touched her back, too. Okay, well, Jayne is winning the hearts of the millions. Isaac's life will never be the same. Brian is glowing, and we'll be back with more Good Day after this. Stay with us.